Oh, man. And now, SmackDown vs. Raw 2009 presents the 22nd Annual WWE Survivor Series.
Survivor Series 2008. So, November of 2008, we were seeing many changes. Obviously, the PG era was underway. SummerSlam was the first PG pay-per-view, and we were starting to slowly see the effects. You know, for the PG era, it was very slowly implemented. It wasn't just like slapping the PG sticker on and then you have PG content. It's kind of slow. At this time, we still had chair shots to the head. You still had some mild content, but for the most part, the PG era was really starting to implement itself in. So, the opening contest, we saw Team Shawn Michaels, which was Great Khali, JTG, Rey Mysterio, Shad Gaspard, and Shawn Michaels, defeating Team JBL, which was JBL, John Morrison, Kane, The Miz, and MVP. So this was kind of your typical 5-on-5 Survivor Series match. It went 18 minutes, and, we had your sole survivors of Shawn Michaels, Rey Mysterio, and the Great Khali. Not sure why the Great Khali, but hey, the Great Khali. And this was, it's a decent Survivor Series match. And then right after that, we had the Team Raw versus Team SmackDown women's 5-on-5 match, which is a real dip in quality. And I mean a real dip in quality for our opening match. Like I said, the opening match, great Survivor Series elimination match. And then you had this one. Moving along, we had The Undertaker versus The Big Show in a casket match. Now, this rivalry was kind of hit and miss. They had a good match here, good match there, and then just some kind of shit in between. And I normally don't like casket matches. It's just me personally. I never liked them. They always kind of just... To me, it's a little too gimmicky and just kind of boring, to be honest. But this one found a way to really switch up the casket match cliche. So you had Big Show destroying the casket. And then, I don't know why, I just started laughing when this happened. The Druids came out with another casket. Like, they got the music and everything, the chanting. And then they just bring out another casket. I don't know, I thought that was funny. Because, he immediately destroys it. And then they just come walking out with another one. But, yeah, it's an interesting twist on the casket match. I will give him that. And then Big Show lost by being thrown into a vertical casket, which is also creative. So this is a creative casket match. And, when I saw this was a casket match, 11 years ago now, I'm just like, ugh. But this was actually entertaining, so I'll give him that. And then we had another Survivor Series match. We had Cody Rhodes, Mark Henry, Randy Orton, Shelton Benjamin, and William Regal versus Batista, CM Punk, Kofi Kingston, Matt Hardy, and R-Truth. I think this was a pretty good one. This was shorter than the opening one. This was only 16 minutes. But, I did like this. It really came down to Batista kind of being the last hope at winning here. He was the last surviving man when I think it was 4-on-1. So it was an interesting concept. And then we had the sole survivors of Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes. Really kind of developing this legacy stable, which, we all know how that turned out in, 2009 and early 2010. So for a Survivor Series elimination match, this one kind of is in the middle somewhere in terms of quality. And, I personally, I don't know. The opening one was really good. And then this one was really good as well. So it's hard to say which one is better. I think this one was a little more creative in terms of booking-wise. But, still good. Speaking of good, we then had Triple H versus Vladimir Kozlov for the WWE Championship. And throughout the night, we had the whole Jeff Hardy being attacked at his hotel storyline, which would then develop into Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy. which I thought was a good rivalry back then. So, throughout the night we have these updates. The first thing they talked about on the pay-per-view was Jeff Hardy being attacked in the stairwell. So this was very important. And, it felt like a developing storyline throughout the pay-per-view, and it was very well paced. So I'll give them credit for that. And then we have this shit. Triple H and Vladimir Kozlov. Punch here, clothesline there, rest hold. Another clothesline, rest hold. Maybe, going outside the ring once in a while, rest hold. And then we'll just throw in another rest hold just for the hell of it. This match was awful. Oh my God. This went on for 14 minutes and 22 seconds. So, thankfully, never thought I'd say this, but thankfully Vicky Guerrero comes out. She claims it to be a triple threat match. She's like, oh, here's your third participant. And then Edge comes out, which was genius. I'll give him, that was a really kind of surprising move at the time. A lot of people might have saw it coming, but, you were expecting Jeff Hardy, obviously. And then Edge comes out. So that was cool. And Jeff Hardy does come out and, interfere a little bit. But Edge does end up getting the win here and regaining the WWE title. So it's kind of a way to fix a terrible, god-awful match. Just throw Edge into it. It'll make everything better. And then we had the returning John Cena after being injured and filming 12 rounds. Facing Chris Jericho for the World Heavyweight Championship. This went 21 minutes and 19 seconds. And this was obviously in Massachusetts, so that's John Cena's home state. And, for the most part, he was kind of your hometown hero. You're always going to have boos for John Cena, no matter where you're at. But this ended up being a decent main event. It's obviously better than the WWE title match. And it's very predictable, that is one thing I will say. Very predictable main event. Obviously, John Cena was winning here. Nobody doubted that at all. So, solid, 3-star match with Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho is always capable of putting on a good match. Really, no matter who his opponent is. So, like I said, it gives you that feel-good moment for the John Cena fans. And back then, I was not a John Cena fan personally. Really took me a while to become a John Cena fan, really. But, I liked the Word Life, Chain Gang, Dr. Thugonomics. Was not a fan of Super Cena. And, part-time Cena now. It's one of those things you don't know what you got till it's gone. So, I appreciate John Cena now. I might not have at the time. I thought this was just a bland, predictable main event. But it ended up being solid, Maybe not a big 4 pay-per-view main event quality, but it's still very solid. So overall, when it comes to a letter grade, I'm going to give this a B-. I think this is a good Survivor Series. And 2008, for me, was one of the last kind of good years for WWE. I am one of the people that believes WWE hasn't been really that good since Benoit died. Some people say, oh, it's been bad since 2010, there's people that say it's been bad since 17. No, I've been watching my whole life. To me, this was when the quality was really starting to show. But we still got a solid Survivor Series pay-per-view out of that. So let me know your thoughts and letter grade down below. For now, peace out.